there's something quite beautiful, isn't there, in the way that no matter how hard Meghan Markle tries, she remains completely overshadowed and completely disturbed by how Catherine, the Princess of Wales, is so effortless in her public pursuits and so effortless in the way the public adore her. And Meghan Markle tried very hard to capture the same sense of royalty and the same sense of performance in her Paris Fashion Week disaster that Catherine managed when she was on the airbase and wowing everyone. Do you remember this when she walked backwards off those steps? But of course, she couldn't do it. And I mean, look at that. It is something just to behold. And P. Diner, royal YouTube sensation who joins me now, I am told by my sources that Meghan Markle remains completely obsessed by the actions of Catherine, the Princess of Wales. She's never moved on. She's never forgotten their feud. And she simply cannot understand why Catherine receives this coverage and she does not. What do you make of it?
I think it just shows Meghan's attitude from the very beginning when she was in the royal family. And this is why she never got along with Catherine. She just has this jealousy because Catherine is so, I think, beloved in a very simple way, like with not much effort. She just does things the right way because she stays in her lane. She is someone that Meghan wishes she could be like. And because she can't, she envies her and she's very jealous. And that will always be the case. So there's never going to be a reconciliation with Meghan and Harry going back. There's never going to be a way to overcome the problems that they've had because it is so rooted and grounded in the establishment, the beginning of how all of this started, that it just is what it is. And I think how Catherine and William have been doing things, they just simply get on and do their work. And Meghan is just going to always live in this jealousy. She has to change so much about herself to get out of this predicament that she's in, that it will never happen because she can't bring herself to be humble, to show respect, to listen to people, that she will always be in this position of envy and jealousy and just mad with rage about not being beloved as Catherine. And it can become very dangerous because I think Meghan, like I said before, she is such a bully. And if she is taunted enough by not being able to get what she wants, I would be very afraid of the things that she would do. Think about what she has already done. Okay. This woman is not afraid to go there and to do horrible things because that's how important it is to her. This is so important to her whole being, her life. Look, she's willing to do the most egregious things to her own family. So you have to understand this woman to be not a very, I think, trustworthy person to even be around for that matter, because she will do things that will shock you, that will hurt you, that are disrespectful. It's really a very sad and dangerous thing, and we can only look at what has happened to Harry to understand just how serious that is, because he, in this position right now, has been the recipient of the things that Meghan is capable of doing, because he's lost everything and will continue to lose everything. So yeah, that's how I see it.
New reports suggest Meghan Markle has become increasingly furious over the global praise showered on Catherine, the Princess of Wales. From her grace to her fashion to her commitment to the royal role, Catherine is everything Meghan wished she could be in the eyes of the public. And according to insiders, that jealousy has been eating away at Meghan for years. What started as polite smiles and photo ops has turned into full-blown resentment, and Catherine's soaring popularity is driving her wild. Let's face it, Meghan's Hollywood dream isn't quite the fairy tale she promised. Netflix's projects have flopped, Spotify cut ties, and her rebrand as a lifestyle mogul hasn't taken off.
No, and I think that's a really good analysis. I wanted to share with you what Canal Citadel said about this. She is one of my favorite social media posters and is
Mhm.
especially good on those dynamics between Catherine and Meghan. And P.
Mhm.
Dinah, I just thought Canal Citadel really put this perfectly by comparing and contrasting how Catherine is adored for these very minor acts and these regular displays of humanity. And Meghan can't bear it, so she tries to do one-upmanship and be dramatic and be ludicrous and be ridiculous. But all that does is actually make us see the real woman who she is. But when Meghan tries to do these small acts, they are so concocted and so fake, like pretending to jar her own jam to the point where she's not using the utensil in the right way, that it always just backfires on her because, as you always say, authenticity is everything, and there is no authenticity with her ever.
Yeah, it just demonstrates what we always knew about Megan. She just is not a very authentic person. She tries to emulate other people, their characteristics, the things that they do, and it's a fail every single time. So, like, Megan is never going to be what she envisions in her head. She always has people making fun of her because we can see through that. And I just don't know how she is able to try to go and do anything now because she's exposed so much about who she is that no one's ever going to give her an opportunity that is going to help elevate her to the what she sees in her own head. It just is so laughable. Every single thing that she does, Megan is at a point now where she's revealed so much about herself and exposed herself in so many embarrassing ways and horrible things that she has done to other people. She just needs to go away and disappear and just go off the radar. But she won't. And it will keep happening over and over again. There will be something else that she'll do. We know they're going to be together, Harry and Meghan, coming up on Thursday for this award. I can only imagine what's going to like. There's something that always is going to happen every single time. First of all, they have no business getting that award. Number one, that tells you right there you shouldn't even go. But we know number two, something is going to happen. She's going to do something to show her character, and she's just going to reveal herself for the fraud perpetrator that she is. That she's in a lose-lose. That's exactly right. Any and everything that this woman does will be scrutinized, and she'll never win ever. It's going to be a continual beatdown for her because she can't do things in a way that is authentic and real. She shows up false and fake every time, and we see right through it. So we're not fooled by you, Megan. So it's a wrap already. You going to show up for this award now? Okay. Now what's going to happen? Because it's just ridiculous everything that this woman does at this point. I mean, how can she go on and do anything? Because she makes so many mistakes, even with that utensil
Oh
there
my
with
God,
the
I know. Well,
jar
actually,
thing. I
just
mean,
before
it's
I
like
get your take on
embarrassing.
it, just before I get your take on it,
Yeah.
can I show you what Link Lauren had to say? Watch
Oh, okay,
this.
yeah.
I mean, they wouldn't touch her, would they? But I mean, this was mortifying for her this week.
Yes. I mean, if you're going to show yourself in the kitchen and post it, nonetheless, please do your homework, Megan. Understand how to do something properly before you try to show yourself doing. I mean, that isn't that like the basic thing you should do? Understand what it is that you're doing and how to do it properly if you're going to show yourself doing it. I mean, that just points to being lazy. You're just entitled that you can just pick up any old thing and know how to use it. You are delusional in your head to think that you can just do these simple things without really understanding them. That's part of the problem. She never wants to stay in her lane. You have no business being in the kitchen trying to use some utensil that you have never even used before because you don't even want to even learn or look at how to properly even use it. Megan is lazy. She's entitled. She has no humility. She's a perpetrator and a fraud that needs to just call it a wrap because everything she does is going to cause problems. because
Well, it was
that's just the kind of person she is.
well, it was interesting. Samara Gill on the Sun's Royal Exclusive said that actually she is at a career rock bottom now.
Meanwhile, Catherine continues to represent the monarchy with elegance and composure, the total opposite of Meghan's constant victimhood narrative. And that contrast? It's Meghan's worst nightmare. Because for all her talk about breaking free, she can't escape being compared to the woman she can never outshine. Here's the thing. Catherine doesn't need to fight for attention. She doesn't give tell-all interviews, she doesn't drop truth bombs, and she certainly doesn't trash her family on Netflix. She just shows up, does her duty and wins people over through authenticity and quiet dignity. And that's exactly why Meghan can't stand it.
I mean, there
Mhm.
is something up, but of
Yeah.
course, there is one aspect to Meghan's personality which some people, P. Diner, not me, but some people have a grudging respect for. And it is the fact that she does have this never say die attitude. It's the thing that Tom Bauer says really impresses him about her. Because, okay, every other major fashion house had said hell no for the past 6 years. The only one who would take her was the fashion house that a lot of celebrities still will not touch because it's mired in a child sex scandal. But she got the major fashion house eventually. She debuted her new post-work, whatever it is, face, and she got a meeting with Anna Wintour. So does it not prove that no matter how bad things are, she's like a cockroach, do you know what I mean? She'll always find a way to
Mhm.
survive.
Yeah, she will. That's the one thing I've always said too about Megan. She will keep going and going and
Yep.
going. And I think at this point, it's just a matter of who is going to take her on, knowing that she's just going to keep trying. And I think at some point, she'll just have to understand that she can't be at this high level that she sees herself as, and that she'll probably get something or do something at a much lower, insignificant kind of way. But nonetheless, she'll just keep trying and trying. But she'll never get to what I think she envisions for herself. She'll have to settle for her mediocre type of personality and skill set, and succumb to that eventually is what will I believe will happen with her.
Well,
And
yeah,
I
because
think,
because every
yeah,
other major fashion house is looking at Balenciaga and saying, "Well, this is why we didn't get involved. This is why we didn't
right.
get involved because we didn't want these headlines about a cheap stunt in a limousine that we paid for involving Princess Diana. They don't want that."
Yeah. And they know that Megan is going to, I think some people know that she will embarrass your company, herself at some point, because I mean, just look at what she's done to the royal family to know what she could do to your brand and your company. That's why a lot of the celebrities don't have anything to do with her, because they were told by their PR people, you can be nice to her, you can like her, whatever, but just don't be in partnership with her or photograph with her, or really keep an arm's length with Megan, because she will not bring good things to you and your brand. And I think that is what we see happening, right? All the time. Megan is just not good news for anybody. So
Completely
let's see where she
ignored
end up.
by the mainstream media and the Royal Rota are the constant bullying allegations swirling around Meghan Markle in so many ways. A lot of this, of course, coming from the Sussex Squad, which continues to be this gang of internet terrorists. Do you know what I mean? Going for
Yeah.
anyone who dares to tell the truth. But Austin Lee Moore did speak out this week. I mean, a little ticket. but, but look, it is slipping, that the mask is slipping, P. Diner, because of course we had this from him this week, but then last week we had all of the revelations in court in regards to the Byline Times and this relationship and the accusations of some form of collusion between Harry's lawyers and this hard leftist blog. We know this is all going on. At some point, you'd hope the mainstream media would put the pieces together too.
Yeah, I think that's something that definitely needs to start to happen. I mean, at what point do they start to acknowledge all the things that we see happening? I think social media has been very good at trying to show the kind of person that Megan is. And to the point that he was making, I think it just shows how dangerous Megan is. And Megan is the kind of person that has no scruples. She will do any and everything to help herself because it's all about her and nobody else. And she is, I think, can be very dangerous. I mean, depending on, I mean, look at the people she has that are supporting her and the horrible illegal things, the criminality of these people, are doing all of her dirty work. I mean, that is a dangerous person that doesn't put that in check, people who are your fans. So it's just an extension of who Megan really is behind the scenes. And that is not a good thing. So the mainstream media needs to start really reporting on things that we all see happening with Megan. And because this is something that can be very harmful to a lot of people because they take it to a whole nother level. They've done some bad things that have still not been accounted for, you know. But yeah, she is shady. And I think at some point the light's going to be shown into her eyes as the person that's behind all of this because she hasn't done anything about it and she should. But it's just who she is. But it will come to light eventually. They will at some point have to report on it because I think at some point it's going to be too big for them not to report on it.
Well, more and
Because
more
that's
people who
how she
do
is.
know where a lot of the bodies are buried are starting to speak out, P. Diner,
Yeah.
including, by the way, the PR representative Nick Eade. He was one of the first people to bring Meghan Markle into the London social circuit at all. I'm talking right back in the days of the Gift Gala and Eva Longoria and Lizzie Cundy and all of that. But she did use him initially, even after she had met Prince Harry, despite ghosting other people from that era. It wasn't long, though, till he got dropped too. He's starting to speak out. This on Woke ITV's Royal Podcast. It's all pretty softly stuff for now, but as I say, he knows a hell of a lot more.
Because Catherine represents what Meghan pretended to be, a compassionate, modern woman loved by the public. Only difference, Catherine didn't need a PR team to make it happen. Let's not forget Meghan's constant attempts to mirror Catherine. Matching outfits, similar charity initiatives, even speech styles. But every time she tries, it backfires, because the world sees it for what it is. Envy dressed up as empowerment. Reports say Meghan was fuming after Catherine's appearances at royal events went viral, especially when the public compared Catherine's natural elegance to Meghan's overly staged photo shoots. One insider even called Meghan's behavior a jealous obsession. And honestly, it shows. People inside the palace reportedly aren't surprised. They've seen the competitiveness from day one. Catherine's rise as the future queen has been a long game of patience and grace, while Meghan's been sprinting for attention, burning every bridge along the way. And let's be honest, the palace isn't losing sleep over Meghan's latest meltdown. Catherine's their golden girl and they know it.
Yeah, she is someone that uses people and just moves on. At some point, Megan is just going to be at the bottom of the barrel doing, like really horrible things to make money because she is not going to get the people that she wants on her side. Like she's done these things to people when she was really a nobody. Then she got somebody with Harry and ghosted people. Well, I think that's what's happening to her right now. And so Megan is going to have to start doing something that she doesn't want to do to make a living because she's not going to get these doors open to her for these big jobs that are going to pay her all this money because people are slowly starting to see who she is and they don't want anything to do with her. And so what Megan put out and what she did to other people when she was coming up, that is what is starting to happen to her now. She is getting back what she put out there. Okay, so we're just going to see Megan doing some really shady things later to make money because she's not going to get these doors opened that she had hoped to get open once she married into the royal family. So it is coming back on her for sure.
Meanwhile, it's Prince William, who's on the cover of People magazine this week, which I thought was absolutely hilarious, given that that will have been another blow, of course, to Meghan and Harry. She would have hoped that her Balenciaga stunt got her on there, but instead It was William's interview with Eugene Levy. People are claiming an exclusive, though, because of a couple of new revelations, P. Dinah, which I'll just quickly take you through. So the piece's headline, What Prince William's surprising new openness signals about the monarchy and why it's not a criticism of his father. Future King speaks candidly. A shift. Insiders say there was not a critique of King Charles. Personally, I think that's a bit naive, but let me just tell you what they're reporting. His vision is not a rebuke of his father. This shouldn't be seen as a criticism of King Charles. Historian Robert Lacey tells People he is very close to his father and has been his most important supporter. Instead, the Prince of Wales is defining his own path, one that honours tradition while embracing change. For royal watchers, the striking admission is fascinating. This is about change coming to the royal family, says Andrew Morton. The two words change and monarchy don't naturally go together. Monarchy is about continuity, to predicate your future life on the change you're going to make to it. Well, that's a delicate mechanism. For William, though, change doesn't mean upheaval, but rather modernisation. A monarchy more emotionally attuned and grounded in everyday life. This is a source within the palace, so this is probably most interesting, P. Dinah. Prince William has been quite vocal about what he wants to do when the time comes to be more accessible, more approachable. What do you make of it?
Mhm. Yeah, that to me is definitely a big change. And I think it is something that we're doing already with social media, and more people that are at the higher social ladder of celebrity, I guess you would say, are a little bit more accessible. And I think it's just the changing times that we're in. And I think it speaks to how the younger generation just sees things, and he is a part of that. So it could be a way to just try to go with the times that we're living in. And I think it's a good thing. I think it makes him definitely more likable because you seem more approachable. You don't have this, snooty tooty attitude about, I'm better than you. And he really wants to do good and help people. And he's just trying to be relatable. And I think that's what you have to do. You have to be more accessible, and try to create a certain type of change to coincide with the era and the time that we're living in. And that all is something that is welcomed, I believe, by this generation that we're living in now. It is going to be definitely something I think we've never seen before, and a good thing moving forward. I'm excited about his reign as the future king.
Now that Catherine's global influence is stronger than ever, Meghan's PR team is scrambling. Expect new rebrands, more emotional interviews, maybe even another Netflix confession. Because Meghan's greatest fear is fading into irrelevance while Catherine continues to shine. The sad truth? Meghan's jealousy has become her own undoing. You can't build a brand on bitterness, and Catherine's quiet success proves that authenticity always wins in the end. Catherine embodies grace under pressure. Meghan embodies chaos under spotlight. And no matter how many interviews, rebrands, or reality projects she launches, Meghan Markle will always be haunted by one fact: she could never outshine the real princess of the people.